Hey guys, my name's Raikyon. This is going to be my first YouTube video, but after going to BlizzCon and seeing what happened with Diablo and all the negativity and everything that's been getting over the last week, I wanted to make a video and say a few things about the game and why I think it might be good for us fans to have. We'll just start from the beginning. So, I want to say, I don't know, maybe about 6-7 months ago, Brandy Camel came on and released a video to online for all of us to see, and it was about Diablo and how the fires are burning hot here at Blizzard, and there's plenty of Diablo projects in the works. And at that time, we didn't know what she was talking about project-wise. Well, we later found out that she was talking about Nintendo Switch port and the Diablo Immortal game. But for all of us here, when we saw that, of course, we thought Diablo 4. And she said towards the end of the video that some of those things will be ready to announce later this year. So that's where the hype began for BlizzCon. Everyone thought Diablo 4 was going to be announced at BlizzCon. I believe Diablo 4 is going to be announced at BlizzCon. Then fast forward a few months, they announced the project for the Diablo 3 Switch port. Great, everyone. I mean, they brought it to PS4, PS3, Xbox. It seemed to do well. Now on the Switch, great. I mean, I love that idea. Playing it on the Switch, great. I mean, I have a Switch, and I would love to play Diablo 3 on there. So that was one of the projects they were working on. And so that was sometime in August, I believe they released the video with Reggie and Mike, and they announced that. Flash forward to a week or two before BlizzCon. Now they make that big old blog post or whatever about calm your hype about Diablo. Well, some things, good things take a certain amount of time, evil things take longer or something like that. They have things to show us at BlizzCon, but it's probably not going to be what we want to see, which is Diablo 4. So great. We think maybe, okay, we know Diablo 4 is not going to be announced there. That's fine. Maybe D2 for classic games, the D2 remaster. A new character for Diablo 3. A new expansion. Anything. Maybe something new about that. We didn't expect to see Diablo Immortal. And, I mean, I want to start touching base now on what happened at BlizzCon. So, I was at BlizzCon, and I want to start from there and say that, wow, people were disappointed when Wyatt came out and said, "Hey, Diablo, we all love it. We all love to play Diablo with our friends, family." We're thinking, oh, he's talking about the Switch port. It's at BlizzCon right now. The big old Switch port's at BlizzCon. It's on the show floor, everything like that. Then he says, we are bringing it to mobile. And the audience, I mean, I looked around, the audience was stunned. I mean, we already know this. But I was upset. Everyone was upset. But why I want to talk about why Diablo Immortal could be a good thing is the fact that Blizzard, with all their games, they can make money somehow in those games, basically. So we'll start with, say, World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, you have to pay a subscription to play. First off, they're making money through that. Secondly, they have the mounts, the cash shop. You want to call it, you could buy mounts, pets, anything like that. More money for World of Warcraft to make money. You got Overwatch, you have loot boxes. Hearthstone, you have packs you can buy. Basically, all their big IP games, they have ways to make money in. The only one really they can't is Diablo. They tried it with the real money auction house. They wanted a cut of that market they saw in D2 of selling gear pieces and all that kind of stuff. They tried making the real money auction house, but thank God they got rid of it because they realized it got rid of the authenticity of Diablo. Searching for gear on your own and getting all that stuff. The real money auction house made that all pointless. So it made Diablo pointless at that point, and they realized that. So they got rid of that. So that brings me to the standpoint of how do they make money in Diablo? We want to see more Diablo stuff, correct? I mean, we all do. So they want to make money off this IP. It's Blizzard's IP. They could do whatever they want with it. So the reason why I think Diablo Immortal could be a good thing for everyone is the fact that mobile games are known for being littered with cash shops, pay to win, all those things, cash grabs. That's what they all are. That's fine. That's how mobile games are. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I mean, it's a new Diablo game. First off, we're getting new Diablo content. It's a story they said that wouldn't be told because it happens between 2 and 3. So we're going to get lore in there that we wouldn't have got otherwise, which is great. If it's riddled with pay to win stuff, I don't care. I'm going to play it for the lore and probably be done with it. It's not really going to be made for our audience over here. We all know that. But the thing is, it's taken from we'll say Star Wars. For instance, the Diablo 1, 2, and 3 are the regular movies. Well, Diablo Immortal, I think even Wyatt said it, it's more like Rogue One. It's in there. It's supposed to be enjoyed by itself or with the other games. So, to me, I'm thinking, if they want to litter this with all kinds of, cash grab stuff, fine, because keep it in this mobile game that I probably won't play, and keep it out of D4. That's the main factor right here. Do we want to have any pay-to-win options, transmogs, or any of that stuff going on, like skins you could buy in D4? No, we want it to be exactly like D3. But Blizzard wants to make money off of it. So let them make money off the mobile game. That way they get more money for more Diablo. They could have all that money that they get from China or wherever they're getting that money from, or even some of us, from NA here paying for stuff in that game. I'm sure I'll drop a couple bucks in the game anyhow because I love Diablo. So keep that in all that mobile stuff and keep it out of Diablo 4. That's why I think Diablo Immortal could be a great addition to the Diablo franchise, because D4 could be so much better for it. And I think Diablo Immortal is also a chance to test some of the mechanics they're doing, like when they're going on that rope and climbing down and shooting stuff and those new skills. Diablo Immortal could be a way to test those new skills and see if they will do well in Diablo 4. Because from what we've been hearing now in the last couple of days, Diablo 4 has gone through so many reiterations and things like that that's the reason why they didn't show it at BlizzCon, is because they didn't want to have any flack for it. Like, well, we have it in development, but we don't know what we're doing with it yet. We don't know the direction it's taking. Remember when Blizzard announced Project Titan? They had to follow with the flack for like 10 years on that game. Like, oh, what are they doing with it? What's going on? And they had all that bad rap for it for so long because they announced it way early before they even knew what they were doing with it, really. They wanted to avoid that with Diablo. And I understand that. But the problem that we all had is the way they announced Diablo Immortal. And I want to say how I think they should have done it. I think there's two options they could have done that would have been great for Diablo announcement at BlizzCon. One way is the way that's been mentioned multiple times, is the fact that you show that mobile game, but then you show the teaser, just a title card for Diablo 4. And that would have quenched a lot of the fires, is if you did that. But the problem is what I just mentioned. I don't think Blizzard was ready to show Diablo 4 because it might be still 4 years away, and they don't want to have the problem they had with Project Titan with Diablo 4. So what I think would have been the best option that I think would have got people excited was, since it was a mobile game that they announced at BlizzCon, if you remember a couple months earlier, in August or so, they had the announcement for Diablo Switch. I think what would have worked out better is they kept that under wraps until BlizzCon. And on the center stage, when they came out, and Wyatt started about talking about how we love to play Diablo. We're all fans, friends and family love to play Diablo. If he would have said and showed a trailer for Diablo 3 saying, we have Diablo 3 coming to the Switch, and showed a trailer for it or whatever, and said, after that trailer or whatever, said, not only that, but if you're here at BlizzCon today, you can buy it on the show floor and play it at the tavern we have open. So, first off, you get an exclusive for being at BlizzCon. You get to buy Diablo 3 for Switch. I would say release it. I mean, it came out. The day at BlizzCon is when it came out. Is the day it got released everywhere. Release it for BlizzCon that day, but for everywhere else, like GameStop, Walmart, everywhere, a week later. So everyone at BlizzCon, when they announce it, be like, we have it, and you can buy it today if you're at the show. That, everyone in the crowd would have been ecstatic. Like, we, being at BlizzCon, we get something special for Diablo. We get to play this game a whole week early. And people love that. Why do you think people pre-order games all the time to get one extra day of playing Call of Duty or whatever a day early? They pre-order that and they eat it up. Now, if you would have done that at BlizzCon and announced Switch Diablo and that you could buy it that day, everyone would go crazy. And then say, continuing on with playing with our friends and family with this mobile style of gaming, we have a new Diablo game made specifically for mobile. And then show the trailer for Diablo Immortal. Everyone's already happy about Diablo 3 on Switch and being able to play it there today before everyone else. That mobile game wouldn't have hurt as much. At least I think so. I know I would have been happy. And they only announced the Switch in August. I mean, that's only like 3 months before. They could have just kept that under wraps and had that at BlizzCon and been like, bam, you could buy it today. And that would have been amazing. And then I think that's what they should have done at BlizzCon, was announce it that way. Or, show D4. I mean, but the problem is, from what we heard in the last couple of days, is D4's gone through so many iterations that it's not ready to be shown. Or the way they keep saying we have multiple projects and works, I mean, they're trying to make you think they have Diablo 4 in development. Maybe they actually don't. We don't know. But the whole point of this video was to say how I think Diablo Immortal is good for the Diablo franchise. And like I said, I believe it's good in the fact that this could be littered with microtransactions or whatever in that game for a way for Blizzard to make money off of Diablo. That's fine. If it's a new game, that's a little upsetting, because I know everyone wants to see that on PC, the new Diablo game for PC. But we are going to get that in the form of D4, which will be way better than this mobile game. And this mobile game being littered with all those microtransactions will make it so Diablo 4 does not have to be. And that's the key factor. We don't want any of these microtransactions in D4. We want it to be just like D3. There's no microtransactions or anything like that. Just straight up Diablo. You don't need to buy anything. You just play the game hours on end, and that's it. We don't want any of those microtransactions. That's why I think this Diablo Immortal could be really good for us. I mean, initially when I was at BlizzCon, I was upset. I mean, I was furious. They built us up all year, and they knew it. That we talked about D4. We said D4 is getting announced, and they knew it, and they let the hype build and build and build. And Blizzard knew it. It's just like the same thing in World of Warcraft. When the PTR came out, and the mythic chest for the week was giving up to 3 items. 1 guaranteed Azerite and 2 other items. And all the websites were reported on that. The mythic chest grants up to 3 items. Diablo, of course, saw that. I mean, Blizzard, of course, saw that. They knew that. Did they do anything to try to stop that? No, they didn't say anything. They just let the hype build, because that builds hype, and more people want to play the game. Then they're selling more copies. Oh, I can get 3 chests in the mythic chest, 3 items in the mythic chest. Awesome! I'm going to play because I'll get gear faster. And then all of a sudden, when it comes out, and everyone's only getting one item, then Blizzard comes out and said, "Oh, it was how it's supposed to work. That was intentional." But they ignored the 6 months of everyone posting on it, and that's what they did for the Diablo 4 hype. They did it to sell more tickets for BlizzCon and all more virtual tickets. That's what they did for. But if that's what they want to do, fine. They're allowed to. They're allowed to build on the hype. That's their company. They do what they want. But they could have done the reveal so much better with, like I said, with the Switch version being exclusive for a week, and revealing it there for mobile, mobile gaming or whatever, taking it with you. That would have been great. Then reveal Diablo Immortal, or do exactly what Bethesda did with Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Blades, and they showed Elder Scrolls 6 right afterwards. So they weren't forsaking their hardcore fan base who loves the PC version of games, and that's predominantly the people who go to BlizzCon are PC gamers, and we were just let down. And what I want to touch on real fast is I did play the demo at BlizzCon, the Diablo Immortal demo. I played Wizard, which you see in the background right now is my favorite class to play. I mean, it was good. I mean, I don't play a lot of mobile games, so I can't tell you. I know people are saying it's a reskin of Crusaders of Light. Never played the game. I don't know how the fluent the controls are, but Diablo Immortal did feel okay. I mean, controls were pretty good. I had a few problems with some of the skills that were aimed, because being two joysticks, I guess you don't aim. You move your left one and you aim with the right one. So it was weird moving both my thumbs at the same time trying to aim my channel Ray of Frost ability. Or Meteor was really tough to land on anything I wanted it to land on. On the PC, as you can see, I can just click somewhere and drop meteors right where the mouse is at. But on the mobile version of it, it was really hard to try to use that second joystick. It took too long, and the mobs basically moved before I could even plant them on where the mobs were at. That's the only complaint I really had. There's also no resource spender like the Wizard has. Their arcane power. They didn't have that in the mobile version, maybe since it's still just a demo that will be added later. They said they're building it from the ground up. I couldn't look at the inventory. It was locked out for the demo. I'm not sure if they did that because they don't have one yet and it looks exactly like a reskin of a Crusaders of Light or something, and they didn't want people to see that, or they literally just don't have it yet. I mean, I don't know, but the game, from what I did play, it was fun. I won't lie. I mean, it was Diablo. It felt like D3. I mean, it did. It felt a lot like D3. The map I played was just one little map. I killed a boss at the end. Not much different. You get 5 or so abilities. It wasn't bad. I mean, also, I mean, a lot of us would, it would be nice to pick up while we're standing in a line just to play a little Diablo. I know we're all upset that it's new Diablo content on the mobile and we can't get it on PC, but like I said, if we get past all this negativity that we have having now and we can go and let it be what it is, and hopefully, like I said, they could riddle it with microtransactions, because I want it to be in this Diablo Immortal game. They can make all their money off this. That way, the more money they get for Diablo franchise, the more they can put into it. And I want Diablo 4 to be the best it can be. And I think the reason why it's taking so long to come out is it has gone through a lot of iterations. They learned with D3 a lot of the problems when it was revealed at BlizzCon. It was revealed too early. A lot of the stuff they showed wasn't in the final game. I mean, they changed a lot of stuff around. And they tried doing the microtransaction stuff in there with the real money auction house you saw in D3, and that didn't go over well. It got rid of the authenticity of Diablo. I mean, why play the game when you could just buy the final set? It was pay to win, essentially. So, and what was the fun of fighting that gear piece when you could just go in the auction house and, well, there it is right there. I don't need to grind Caverns of the Moon Clan for 2 hours and hopefully a legendary drops. That's not even for my character, and if it is, it has stats for Barbarian on it anyhow, so it's unusable. Diablo 3 had a lot of problems when it first came out. It did. But I believe they want to avoid those problems with D4, so they wanted to avoid announcing it early. And they wanted to... I don't think they want to litter it with microtransactions, but they want to make money off that game to keep it alive. This is probably a big mandate from being owned by Activision now. Activision probably wants money off of all their IPs, more money, and I think that's just part of it now. Is Blizzard needs to make more money off their IP, so this is a way to do it. But the way they announced it was totally wrong, and I hope they learn from that, and I hope they take some of the advice that some people are giving out now and learn from that. And I'm excited for when they do announce Diablo 4. I love Diablo 3. I've sank 1,500 plus hours in it. I've played every single season so far. I haven't played 14 yet. I'm going to probably get around to that in the next couple days, but I have played every single season so far. I've mostly got the Conqueror achievement in most of the seasons I've played. As you can tell, I really do love Diablo. I usually stop around 1,000 Paragon or 1,100 Paragon. Diablo does get repetitive, but it's fun to just take a break from other games I play and go to Diablo and just sink a bunch of time in it. And I do enjoy Diablo, and I am excited to see where the franchise will go from here. I want people to understand that Diablo Immortal is actually a good thing. Well, Diablo 4 is in the works. It's in the pipeline somewhere. So don't be upset that it was upsetting that it wasn't announced. Blizzard messed up at BlizzCon. There's no denying that. But I hope we do get to see Diablo 4 come about, maybe the next year or so. It might be announced the next BlizzCon or the year after. Maybe 2020 we'll see an announcement for Diablo 4 if this backlash doesn't get to Blizzard and make them announce it early. But I understand why they haven't announced it. It's very understandable why they didn't. It's just not acceptable the way they announced the things at BlizzCon this year for Diablo when they built up all the hype from Brandy Campbell coming out and saying all that stuff she did to getting just a mobile game. It was very upsetting, and I think Blizzard realizes that now. A lot of the stuff they said, they're trying to do some damage control, saying, hey, we didn't think it would go over this bad. Give it a chance, hopefully. They could have done a lot better job, but I still love the Diablo series. I don't think it's dead by any means. We got a whole new game for it. So by no means is Diablo dead. I know a lot of memes are going around saying, "Oh, Diablo Immortal, no way, it's dead. It's dead now, no longer alive," and things like that. That's not true. And like I said, well, my microphone died, so I had to re-edit this real fast. But like I said, Diablo's not dead. And that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for watching the video. If you made it all the way through, thanks for making it all the way through. And you guys have a great day. And this is Raikyon. Thank you. Peace.